What's going on, y'all? So, I want to talk about what's going on again in Palestine. And not just Palestine, but what's going on in Sudan, what's going on in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, what's going on in Haiti, what's going on in Yemen, what's going on in the global South, as well as what's going on in the USA, right? What's going on across the globe, across the world. But I highlighted those specific countries and those specific nationalities because they're literally facing ongoing genocide. Some of you are aware of what's going on in Palestine. If you're not, there will be information in the description box below. And I strongly encourage you to check those in the description box below to see what's going on. But literally, this has been going on for 76 years. The United Nations in 1948, and I'm going to say this, maybe they thought this was going to be on good faith at the time because what had just taken place in Germany, in Europe, where the Holocaust, over 6 million people, not just Jewish people, because there were other people, other nationalities, ethnicities, cultures, races, and other groups that were marginalized and targeted during the Holocaust and still are to this very day, including Jewish people. But the UN, maybe in good faith, thought, well, we're going to give you land, even though that land was already occupied by the Palestinian people, because it was Palestine. And that should have never happened in the first place, but then again, the Holocaust should have never happened. Okay? And I also just want to say, in my opinion, it's not anti-Semitic to speak out against genocide, to hold Israel accountable. It's not anti-Semitic to be against colonization and genocide and grave acts of violence and just acts against humanity. That's not being anti-Semitic, in my opinion. But again, they've literally killed 30,000 plus people just between October 7th, 2023 and today, May 15th, 2023. It's been 7 months of bloodshed, of murder, of slaughter. Okay? The entire Gaza Strip, Gaza, Palestine, Rafah, all of these places have been destroyed. Building after building, homes, neighborhoods, apartments, townhouses, schools, elementaries, middle schools, high schools, college universities, hospitals, plural, okay? Hospitals. Refugee camps that people were fleeing the ongoing turmoil and fleeing to these particular locations, because also Israel told them that they could go to these locations for safety, and now Israel is bombing and destroying those places that they told them they could go for safety and refuge. Entire generations of families have been erased. This is genocide. Then when you look at what's going on in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or the Congo, this very instrument that I am using to film this video is one of the many reasons why people in the Democratic Republic of Congo are being murdered and killed and forced into slave labor to make all of the minerals, mine all of the minerals that are used to create all of this technology, so we can have iPhones every 3 to 6 months, and every video game systems from the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 5 to all of the in-deck dashes in the cars and the chips and the microchips and so forth. Yeah, the people of the Congo are literally being forced into slave labor to mine those materials, cobalt and things of that nature. People are being murdered and killed over you and me and everyone, over consumption and the constant consumerism around having the latest technology, to the point that we're murdering and killing entire countries of people. And then Sudan has been back and forth with war. This is not the first what you would call civil war taking place in the country of Sudan. They're killing, people are being killed, murdered, rape. There is sexual violence, grape. There is sexual assault, grape. There is sexual abuse. This is genocide. This is what war is. And the fact that so many of us don't even recognize, especially in the USA, don't even recognize what's going on outside in other countries. Hell, people in the USA don't even recognize what's going on in other states. Hell, people in the USA don't even understand what's going on in other counties, and they're in the same state. Like, we're so desensitized, and then we're so isolated to the point that we think that we're the only, people, country, place that matters. And then the outcome part is, it's our tax dollars that's funding all of this mayhem, this genocide, these wars, poverty, colonization. And then many of us who live in the USA are suffering and living check to check and don't know how they're going to make ends meet and are constantly swimming in debt. So much is going on. And ironically, it's an election year. It's 2024. Every 4 years, we have a presidential election. And then every 2 years, you have your midterm elections. Each one is important, from the local to the state to the federal. From the federal to the state to the local. Each one is important. And however, elections aren't the only way to fight for justice. Elections aren't the only way to fight against oppression. It's one of the many tools in the toolbox. It's not the only one. And depending on who you are and what you believe in or don't believe in, you may use different types of tools to fight against oppression, against discrimination, against hatred, against bigotry, okay? But there's a lot going on. And then Haiti is essentially dealing with a civil war. And you know what's crazy is a lot of these are highly funded by the USA, again, through our tax dollars. And then also it's highly related to drugs. Like, if you pay attention, it's a lot going on. And again, we're all divided and conquered by these systems and ideologies of oppression on purpose. Because if we were to wake up and realize that we have more in common with each other, we would likely unite and be on one accord to fight against oppression that's harming us all. Information is in the description box below. I only touched on the most minute of the situations that I'm talking about because I could only give you small bits and dabs. It's so much going on, and there's so much information out here. I have it shared in the description box. If you care to check it out. But yeah, we can talk about relationships, romance, love, sex, celebrity culture. But people are literally becoming homeless in the USA and around the world. People are starving. People are being murdered and killed. After a while, this romance and get on Bumble and what about Drake? And don't get me wrong, I get it, right? But that's just it. They're meant to be distractions to keep us distracted from the shit that's actually impacting our lives. And don't get me wrong, for your mental health, I understand you can't just be 100% 24/7, 365 glued into what's going on around you. And understand that that's a privilege to be able to not have to be aware of everything that's going around you, because you're not the particular group, identity, people that are being harmed. So you have that privilege to be like, I need a break. Meanwhile, do you think the people in Palestine get to get a break? You think the people in Sudan get a break? The people in the Democratic of the Congo, the people in Haiti, the people in Yemen, the people in the global south, the people who are currently homeless in your own community, the women and girls, the intersex and trans and LGBTQ plus people, do they get a break? I'm just saying, it's a privilege to even be able to take a break. And that's the sad part. It's a privilege. But I get it. For mental health, you need a break. But that's just it. Understand that there's people who also need a mental health break and they can't take it because it's literally their everyday life. They have no choice. So also please recognize it's a privilege that we get to take breaks. I'm just saying, y'all, in my opinion, we gotta wake up and recognize what's going on. Shit's been bad. Like, unfortunately, historically, it was always a shit show. But like, it's wild to see that you would think after all these years and centuries later, we would have learned to treat each other better. But no, we're still repeating the same lessons and mistakes and casualties that don't have to take place. It doesn't have to be this way. There truly is a different way. There truly is a better way.